wasn't until I learned more about the nervous system and started tuning in to these natural rhythms and adjusting the workouts accordingly that I began to have a consistent workout practice. And by consistent, I don't mean constant. And I found that so many people hold on to that constant workout practice. That is, I'm going to try to replicate what worked really well for me when I was in college. Well, I'm far away from being in college. I have a lot more responsibilities in this phase of my life. And so we start telling ourselves a narrative, I don't have time to work out. Maybe one day I'll be able to prioritize it. You just have to have willpower. Let's stay dedicated to working out, maintain that motivation. And all of this has really been demotivating for me over the years. You see, for so long, I struggled with having a consistent workout program, even though I knew how physically beneficial it was for me. It provided strength and stamina for just daily activities. I would maintain a consistent workout program for some time, and then it would just fall off to not being as important because I became a mom, or then I became a working mom. And for so many people I know, they've struggled with this as well. But I found if you can tune in to the natural rhythms of your energetic cycle, and I'm not talking about your menstrual cycle here, I'm really talking about the energy from your nervous system, this can really help you figure out what workouts would be most beneficial, even a short 5-minute session. So let's get into this a little bit more because it is so helpful when you understand more of the signals that your body is sending you. So when I'm talking about the nervous system, it's not all of the vast nervous system. I'm really focusing on the autonomic nervous system. The only thing I want you to remember about the autonomic nervous system is that it's automatic, meaning that it automatically shifts for so many different factors, such as you may be an early bird and you have more energy in the morning. For me, I'm a night owl. Shout out to my night owls out there, where our energy peaks later in the afternoon into the evening. It's one of the reasons why I prefer to do workouts a little bit later in the day rather than first thing in the morning. Then your sleep can impact your energy, nutrition, stress, just the ups and downs of everyday life. Let's go into understanding more about the nervous system with high energy states to low energy states and how these impact the type of workouts that are going to be most beneficial for you. So with high energy states, these are days when you are feeling incredibly motivated and pumped. You're really energized. Your sympathetic nervous system is on board, and it's a very invigorating state to be in. And it makes sense then to do more challenging workouts, whether it's Pilates, cardio, or another type of workout on these types of days. I should also mention that we're specifically focusing on the nervous system, but for these more challenging workouts, of course, we want to make sure your physical body is conditioned for that as well. That's another consideration that's really important. So it's not you're just going to focus on how much energy you have or just focus on what's physically beneficial for your body. It's both and. We want to consider both of these elements. So with these higher energetic states, notice how many times that's when you feel like, yes, I'm totally motivated to work out. But what happens on lower energy days? And these lower energy days, the nervous system is in more of a parasympathetic response, a down-regulated response. And sure, taking breaks from workouts, even in your week, can be very beneficial. And yet, giving your body the opportunity to move more slowly has not only benefits for your nervous system, but also for your physical body, because you get to work on different elements with your workout program compared to the very fast, challenging classes. And this all comprises a well-rounded workout experience. So with these lower energetic states, that's when we're looking at slower sessions, maybe more towards strength, mobility, something easier with cardio, so it can be going outside for a walk. Many times, activities that we don't consider a workout, but is really important to our overall physical activity. So let's get into an example that I think would be really helpful. I tend to pair my higher energy workouts with higher energy days. So Mondays, I usually have more motivation, more energy, because the weekends, I'm not working, I have a little bit more free time. Yet one Monday, it was about 11 o'clock, and I said to myself, oh, I just don't feel like working out today. But when I paused and was curious about this, is that actually true? It was, I don't feel like working out with what I had written down. You see, I like to write it down on a piece of paper because it just helps me be realistic with what is helpful for that particular week, but that's a side point. So on this piece of paper, I had written down I was going to do a 30-minute like high intensity spin class followed by a 30-minute power Pilates workout. And my body was saying no. My mind interpreted this as you're just not motivated to work out. But when I sat with it for just a little bit longer, it got more nuanced than that, which is you're not motivated. You don't have the energy to do that very vigorous workout. Can you adjust the dial of intensity? So I came down here to the basement. Instead of a 30-minute vigorous spin class, I did a 20-minute slower paced, low impact cycling session, followed by a 30-minute Pilates class that was very gentle, and it was just what I needed as a reset. So what was the difference between most Mondays when I have a lot of energy and this Monday when I just felt like I did not have much energy whatsoever? And it's when I looked back at my schedule, yes, paper schedule again, what I recognized was for the past 4 weekends, I was out of the house virtually all day with my kids' sports activities. So one was on Saturday, and this just wasn't like a 2-hour game. Think of tournament style. And the other was on Sunday, again, tournament style. So I just kept going, kind of like hustle and grinding. And so it doesn't make sense to do a really high energy workout if you're already more depleted from not being able to recover from your week or weeks, or let's face it, sometimes months. Okay, we just went through big opposites, really high energy and lower energetic states. Well, what about that mid-range where you're kind of in the middle? So should you do something really challenging? Should you turn down the dial of intensity? And of course, there's more of a middle range that you can move in. So maybe it's a more moderate paced class. Maybe you even want to do a strength training session, but rather one that is maybe quick and with really heavy weights. You're going to do something a little bit slower, a little bit lighter on the weights as well. This is where the mindful strength class came into play because a lot of people within the membership were asking for classes, strength classes that weren't quite as challenging. And I have to tell you, this is a workout that I love to go back to time and time again, so I can still get in a strengthening workout, but it doesn't seem as intense as maybe progressive strength and stretch. So we can always adjust and adapt your workouts. And what I really encourage you to do is to tune into how are you feeling before, during, and after your workouts. If you're feeling really invigorated, well, maybe do something a little bit more challenging. If you're feeling a little bit lower on energy, this is what a lot of people do within the membership. They know that after a workout, they feel better. And so they may not feel motivated to press play on a 45-minute class, but they get started with a 15-minute session, and then they check in. How are they feeling after? And more times than not, they're feeling better, so they press play on another workout, and what started out as a shorter session now is a little bit more well-rounded of a workout experience because they're tuning in to be what would be most beneficial to them. Now that I just gave an example of a positive experience. What happens if after you do a high intensity workout, you're feeling just depleted? And I'm not talking about, you did a strength training class and all your muscles are feeling a little bit of that residual soreness. This is you are so exhausted that you just crash. Like you feel like you have to sleep, or you actually do have to sleep to really recover. That is simply an indicator that workout was too intense. And rather than not working out at all, well, we can do a few things with that. If it was a strength session, next time, lighter weights. Or what I also like to do, shorter session length of time, and slowly build back up to where the nervous system and also your physical body has the capacity to do that challenging workout, and it's appropriate for you from a more holistic perspective. And this is something that just takes time. And I encourage you to lean into this listening to your body with a sense of curiosity. So if your body is telling you, no, not that, or you get really exhausted after workout, it's good information to have. And the next question is, well, what would be beneficial? What would be a little bit more helpful for you when you come to Pilates or your other type of workouts? And the beautiful element is the more that you lean into this with curiosity, tuning into your body, the more it's going to trust you. So body sends signals to brain, mind can interpret them more kindly now, and then we listen to the shifts that would make the most sense for not only physical body, but the overall essence of your entire being, so nervous system as well. This is one of the very reasons why at Trifecta Pilates we have color-coded classes. They give you great information to the type of Pilates class it is. And I'm not talking about upper body or lower body focus, but the overall energy level that's going to be needed for that class. If you want more insight into this, make sure that you check out the video that you're seeing right now.